In this episode, we're talking fixtures. We're looking at the top 5 teams with the best runs going forward over the next 6 game weeks. That's it. It's episode 15. Let's jump straight into it. Let's go! So we're going to go in reverse order, and 5th for the next 6 games in order of difficulty is Arsenal. As we can see at the bottom of the screen, their fixtures are Palace away, Sheffield United at home, Chelsea away, Burnley away, and then Newcastle at home and Everton at home. Not a bad run. Let's have a look at 3 key players that could feature in those 6 matches. So first up, we got the keeper, Bernd Leno, just 5 million. Few keepers are worth a bit more than that now, all the decent ones. There's no £4.5 million keepers left in the game. And Leno, little stat for you on him, he's made 86 saves this season. Only Dubravka's made more in the entire league. In terms of FPL, he's currently on 75 points. And, you know, not the most, I know, but when keepers don't score that many. And Schmeichel's top, and he's only got 9 points more. So Leno, not a bad option for a keeper. Then moving on, we've got Maitland-Niles. I've put him in because of his price, 4.6. There is no cheaper Arsenal player starting at the moment than Maitland-Niles. And he looked half decent against Man United when they kept a clean sheet last time out. And under Arteta, he's looking really good. He's not got any attacking returns yet. His underlying stats aren't the best either, but he's going forward. I think the odd assist may come. And at 4.6, it's hard to argue against him in a team that's certainly improving under their new manager. And finally, can you really do an FPL video about Arsenal without mentioning Aubameyang? Yes, he's very expensive. He's a premium forward. He's 10.8. A lot of us aren't going with premium forwards at the moment, but if you've got space for one, this is the man to get. Only Jamie Vardy has scored more points than him this season, and with a run of fixtures coming up, you bet he's going to be banging in more goals and scoring more FPL points in the coming weeks. So coming in at number 4, we've got Everton. Their next 6 look like Brighton at home, West Ham away, Newcastle at home, Watford away, Palace at home and Arsenal away. Pretty good run of fixtures if you ask me. Let's look at some of their key assets. So I'm going to talk about the 2 attacking players at the same time here. We've got Richarlison at 8 million and we've got Calvert-Lewin currently at 5.9, although he is flying up. He's already gone up 0.1 already this game, but he might go up again before the start of game week 22. But for now he's 5.9. But I'm going to talk about it together because when you look at shots and shots in the box over the last 6 game weeks, these 2 are miles ahead of everyone else. In fact, Calvert-Lewin is miles ahead of Richarlison. So the shots overall, Calvert-Lewin's had 21 in the last 6 matches. Richarlison's had 11. Then after that, we're looking at players with like 6 and 5 shots for Everton. And shots in the box, Calvert-Lewin's had 17. Richarlison's had 7. And then it kind of drips and drabs after that really. But in terms of shooting, it's Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison really head and shoulders above every other attacking Everton player. Those are the boys that you want to be jumping on for those Everton goals. I'm picking out defender. Why look anywhere else than Mason Holgate? He's absolutely nailed on. He's played every minute for about the last 10 or 11 weeks now, and he's just 4.4 million. Way cheaper than anyone else. A lot of people are talking about Sidibe because, you know, he is playing right midfield and he's got assist potential, but he's £1 million more. And when we at a time of the season where, you know, we're all trying to jump on these expensive Liverpool players, that extra million is going to go a long way if you go for Mason Holgate. And he does go up for free kicks and corners. We saw he almost scored in the Merseyside derby today. He's actually had 4 shots in the last 6 game weeks as well, so he will get up there, he will jump on things, you know, he will get the shots away. Maybe might get a random attacking return, but really with Everton, with those fixtures, we're after some good clean sheets, and why spend any more than when you've got a nailed on 4.4. Moving on to the team with the 3rd best set of fixtures according to the Fantasy Football Scout season ticker, and it's Brighton and Hove Albion. Their next 6 fixtures read Everton away, Aston Villa at home, Bournemouth away, West Ham away, Watford at home, Sheffield United away. Only 2 home games there in the next 6, but all those teams are quite near the bottom of the table. So let's have a look at 3 assets that could be key for us going forward. So first up, we've got Neal Maupay. He is definitely a budget striker. We were talking about Calvert-Lewin a minute ago. Well, this man, Neal Maupay, he's just 5.8 at Brighton. Great run of fixtures coming up. He's the club's leading goal scorer with 7 goals so far this campaign. He's had 58 shots this season, but 44 of them have come in the box. So he's not one for long range shooting. He's always in there. He's in the areas where the strikers are going to be taking those shots from. He's a good marksman for him. He's also on penalties. So that is Neil Mopay at just 5.8. Next up, Aaron Moy. Talk about budget enablers. This midfielder, he's just 4.8. Cheap as chips. You literally don't get many midfielders under 5 mil at all in FPL. But this man, over the last 4 game weeks, he's created 10 chances for Brighton. That's more than anyone else at the club. And he's also had 7 shots, which is joint top with Mopay and Yahakenbash. So he's getting forward. He's playing in the number 10 at the moment. Just 4.8. With those run of fixtures, he could be worth a great gamble. Brilliant differential going forward. And finally, I'm talking Lewis Dunk. He's the captain. He's nailed on. He's just 4.7. So, you know, he's not quite the 4.4 of Holgate. He's a little bit more. But Brighton are good at defensively. They've got a brilliant run. And Lewis Dunk is a brilliant threat going forward. He's already got 2 goals and 3 assists this season. And when he's always going forward, you know, he's had 15 shots, 11 of those in the box. So, Mr. Captain, always nailed on. Great option.
Hey there, soccer fans. If you're enjoying this content, be sure to click the thumbs up and like the video. You could also say to your friends, hey man, did you watch those FPL ad videos on YouTube? And they'll be like, nope. And you're like, well, you should, because he's really, really cool.
Coming in at number 2. There couldn't be a team in worse form at the moment. But I'll tell you what, if you wanted a set of fixtures to turn things around, it don't get much better than this. Watford at home, Norwich away, Brighton at home, Aston Villa at home, Sheffield United away and Burnley away. Not many people have got Bournemouth assets because of obviously they're in a terrible run. So these guys could be key differentials going forward. If you start turning it around, these guys could be the ones to get on early. They've got the fixtures to go with it. Let's see what happens. So first out, I've picked Chris Mepham. He's just 4.3 million. There is hardly a cheaper defender in the game right now that's playing week in, week out. So if you're on your wild card, I mean, with those run of fixtures, he's just brilliant just to sit on your bench in case someone else doesn't play. He can just come in at 4.3 mil. But on top of that, there's no players have more shots inside the box for Bournemouth in the last 4 game weeks than Mepham. He's only had 3, but hey, no one else has had more. So he's the target of the corners and set pieces, clearly. Next up is Harry Wilson. Yes, he might not play every single week. It is a bit of a punt, but in the last 4 game weeks, bearing in mind he's only featured in 3 of them, he's actually had the most shots of any player at Bournemouth. So we know he's got a brilliant left foot. He's immense on free kicks. He's going to bang some in. He's already got a few goals this season. So if you want to punt at 5.9 in midfield, Harry Wilson. And finally, a man that needs no introduction to FPL managers is Callum Wilson. He's got FPL pedigree coming out of his ears. He's been in the game for years and years. He's always returning. He might not get massive hauls, but he'll always get you a goal or an assist, and he'll keep continuing to churn them out and churn them out. He's been out for ages now, but now he's back. He's playing 90 minutes. He's pretty much nailed on every match. And at the moment, he's only selected by 4.7%. And I would say as well, most of those would be like ghost teams, you know, managers that were playing the game that aren't anymore. So that 4.7% is probably a lot lower amongst managers that are still playing in the upper echelons of the overall rankings. So he's a huge differential. And with those brilliant fixtures coming up for Bournemouth, I can't see anything but returns coming for Callum Wilson. And finally, number 1 is the number 1 team. They've only drawn once, won every other game this season. The triple up is absolutely essential on these guys. The next 2, not the best. Spurs away, Man United at home. But then Spurs are leaky. They've only kept 1 clean sheet under Mourinho, and they were without Harry Kane as well. And then Man United, they just don't keep clean sheets either. There's going to be goals for them in them. And then after that, they've got the big double game week, Wolves away, West Ham away, followed by Southampton at home, Norwich away and West Ham at home. So for the Liverpool boys, I've done it a little bit different. I've split it up into attackers and defenders. So these are the 3 attackers we're looking at: Mane, Salah, Firmino. If you want to pause the video now, just go for it and you can analyse all the individual stats for every single player. But what I've sorted it by is XGI, that's expected goal involvement. So that takes all the quality of their shots and like chances created and seeing if they expect to assist or expect to score a goal, and then they're merging it. So as we can see, top for this is over the last 4 game weeks, Mane comes out on top. Mane is the most influential, most creative man in terms of their attackers, 3.6, and bottom is Firmino. So obviously Firmino though is 3 million difference, but you know it comes with a price. He's not getting as many returns, is he? Shots, he's had as many shots as Salah, and he's actually had more than Mane as well. And their shots in the box is also level. But the quality of those shots and also his chances created is tiny. You know, if you're going to get looking at attacking returns, it's Mane and Salah all day. And remember, in FPL, Mane and Salah are midfielders, whereas Firmino is a striker. So they're getting a point for a clean sheet and an extra point for a goal. It's got to be Mane and Salah. The question comes down to budget. Can you afford to have them both? Or do you just go one and have two defenders? Personally, for me, when you think about, you know, the price of the defenders around 7 mil, I think with the extra 5 million in the budget, I'll go two defenders and one of Mane or Salah for me and have an extra 5 million to spend. So then, on to the defenders we go, and I've got to pick two of these. I put in Gomez as well, just to show kind of, you know, how different he is compared to the big three that we're all looking about, really. Just to show, you know, how much better they are. But he is dirt cheap. So if you literally if you're scraping the barrel to get your third Liverpool player, then Gomez is an option. You know, he's nailed on. He's only 5.2. That is cheap as chips. But all you're getting there really is clean sheets. You're not really getting much else. Look at his XGI, 0.02. He literally couldn't be further away from a goal or even an assist. Just any sort of attacking return. But up top, as we can see, most chances created is Robertson. We were thinking it was Alexander-Arnold, but Robertson's actually created one more chance than Alexander-Arnold. He's got just the one shot though, so he's definitely more of an assister, Robertson, whereas Alexander-Arnold, 5 shots in the last 4 game weeks. He scored that goal against Leicester. He's also created 7 chances and had 2 assists as well. So Alexander-Arnold, I mean, I'll go through all these stats, but we kind of know how it is, right? Alexander-Arnold is absolutely immense. Robertson is absolutely brilliant. And Van Dijk, he's absolute rock at the back, and he goes up for corners. He's their target at the corners. They're all brilliant options. And for me, personally, I could drill down into the stats as much as you want, but I think their prices are fair reflections of what you get out of them. So the more you pay, the more points you get back. So it just depends where you can fit them in and how much money you got to spend. So personally, I think with my money, I'm going to be getting both of them, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, because I'm going to downgrade to someone like Moy from Ali in midfield. So that's a big chunk of money there. So then I can get in both of Robertson and Alexander-Arnold. Van Dijk, I said, he is attacking. He's up there for corners all the time. But when you look at the last time he scored, he got that brace about 5, 6, 7 game weeks ago now. And before that, he didn't score since the first game of the season. So attacking returns for Van Dijk are few and far between. Whereas for Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, you can almost come to expect them week in, week out now. So value for money. It's expensive for defenders, but when you look at what you're getting for points on the overall scheme of things, 7.5 and 7 mil for what they're offering right now, and their run of fixtures going forward is just brilliant value. So for me, the top 3 for Liverpool, if I just did the 3 players, I would have done Trent Alexander-Arnold, I would have done Robertson, and I would have done Mane. That's the end of the Fixture Watch video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been a lot of you. I really hope that it helps you plan your transfers before the vital double game week 24. There's a few enablers in there you can jump on, and then there's some analysis on some of the big guns too. So I hope this is helpful going forward. If you haven't already, please give the thumbs up, like the video, and subscribe. And remember to hit the notifications bell for more videos coming out soon. Cheers, guys. Let's go!